Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Mitch here, Mitchy Sam, Mitch's Mitchin 영어 Coaching. This is a channel on YouTube where I'm helping you with some simple English phrases and advice and tips to help you speak English more comfortably, more confidently, more professionally, whether in business or in your life. Okay, so today we have a good topic for you. This is one that many of my students love to talk about because they need it, and that is how to do a good job interview in English. Okay, now many of you have to do a job interview in English. Maybe your company is a US company or British company or an English international company. You will need an English job interview for that. But these days, even Korean companies, they also do a portion of their interview in English, right? Many companies do this just to kind of test your English skills as well. So for both of those situations, today's video is going to be very helpful for you when you have to do a job interview in English, okay? So it's not easy, I will give you that. It's not an easy thing to do an interview, but if you practice a lot, you will be able to do well. And let me give you some tips today in this video, and I'm going to give you some phrases to use. You can practice these and put them into your practice when you get ready for an interview. If you use the phrases that I'm going to give you today, it will help you. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to say to you is when you do an interview of any kind, do not memorize a script, okay? All of my students, and by all I mean 100% of my students, when they think about doing a job interview, they all make a script and they all memorize a script, okay? Don't do that. That's the worst thing you can do, okay? In a job interview, at least for a Western company, international company, they really don't want to hear a memorized script, okay? It sounds very unnatural. It sounds very impersonal. Like you're not very, it just sounds like you are kind of acting a little bit, okay? So don't memorize a script. Much better to speak conversationally, and it's much better to be able to just hit some bullet points, right? I always teach my students to make some bullet points for your main points, which you can easily remember, and then just talk about it naturally, okay? Your English doesn't have to be perfect. Even if your English is not perfect, but you're speaking naturally, that will sound 10 times better than if you memorize a perfect script. The script can be perfect grammar, vocabulary, but if it's memorized, it doesn't matter. You've ruined your chance at getting that job because nobody wants somebody who memorizes a script. It just doesn't sound natural, okay? So don't do it. And you're not fooling anybody. My students often say like, oh, I didn't memorize a script. You did. I can tell. I can easily tell. And the job interviewer can easily tell. Native English speakers can tell in 20 seconds if you have memorized a script. Okay, so you're not fooling anybody. Don't try it. Don't do it. Don't memorize a script. I promise you it will be much better for you if you don't. And I promise you it will be much easier for you if you don't memorize a script. The script is the difficult part. But the way I'm teaching you in these videos and also in my one-on-one coaching, when I do one-on-one coaching for students about job interview training, I teach you ways that are much, much easier than memorizing a script, okay? It's much easier to do the way that I teach. It's much harder to memorize a script. You'll forget something, you get nervous, you lose your spot, you can't come back, you panic, you sweat. It's not good, okay? So let me teach you a couple phrases for this today. So first of all, when you open, okay, instead of saying, like whenever they ask you about they always are going to ask you about your achievements. Like, what are some things you've done? Tell me about your previous work experience. Give me some achievements that you've made, some successes that you've had in your career, okay? Instead of saying very simply like this, I worked on a big sales team. That's very simple. That's very, too simple. Use this phrase. I was tasked with growing sales in quarter 3. I was tasked with. That means they gave me this task, they gave me this responsibility. And that's just a simple phrase, and it sounds better than I did this, I worked on this. Okay, if you make it sound like the other company gave you some responsibility and you did it, that sounds better than just, oh, I did this, I did that. So that's a good phrase to use. I was tasked with growing sales in Q3, or whatever the thing was that you were tasked with. Okay. Another thing you want to do is show quantitative results. Okay. Don't just say, I made sales very high. I improved sales. No, say it like this. I successfully boosted revenue by 15%. Give an amount. If you have the data, use the data. I successfully boosted revenue or sales or our customer base. I successfully boosted our customer base by 20%. If you don't have the numbers, okay, don't lie, but you could just say the same thing. I successfully boosted revenue by a significant amount. That's a good way to say it too. A significant amount. That's when you don't have the numbers, but if you do actually know the numbers, that's always better. The accurate details. Quantitative results. It's going to help you. Okay, and then the last thing here, a logical closing. Don't just, when you finish your speech, when you're talking, don't just say, okay, that's all. Or, yeah, that's about it. So, yeah, that's about it. No, that sounds very unprofessional. Use this phrase. Based on these experiences, I'm confident I can add immediate value to your team. So they've asked you about all your work experience, everything, you've talked about it. Finish strong, just say, so based on these experiences, I'm confident, confidence is key. I'm confident I can add immediate value to your team. That means I'm sure I can help this company. If you hire me, I will add value, because that's really what they're looking for, right? If they're looking to hire somebody, they want to hire someone who can bring value to the company, okay? And that could be you. So if you're sure that you can bring value, just say it confidently. You have to sell yourself a little bit in a job interview. We say sell yourself. Selling yourself means promote yourself, right? Don't be too humble. Don't be too arrogant. But if you use this phrase, doesn't sound arrogant. It sounds confident. Okay, there's a fine line between arrogant and confidence, and I'm always going to teach you how to sound confident, not arrogant. Okay, so this doesn't sound arrogant. Based on these experience that I've just talked about, I'm confident I can add immediate value to your team. Sounds very confident, and they're going to really consider you for that position if you speak like this, okay? Confidently, but not arrogantly. Okay, so when you're practicing, record yourself. Always good to record yourself. Do it in front of a mirror. Try to practice. Role play. It's very important. Maybe get a friend to ask you interview questions, okay? Or if you really want help, I can help you. I have time available in my schedule. If you go to my website at mitchinenglishcoach.com, you can sign up for a one-on-one custom lesson with me. Let's say you want to prepare for a job interview. That's something I can help you with. I do it all the time, every week. I'm helping students who want to prepare for job interviews, and I help them with these kind of tips, these kind of phrases I will give you. Of course, many, many more if we're meeting one-on-one. I'm going to give you lots of tips, lots of phrases, and I'm going to help you to not memorize a script, but to speak naturally and confidently in a job interview and other situations too. If you want to prepare for OPIC test or TOEIC test, or you want to prepare for a presentation, job presentation, meetings, anything, just check out my website at mitchinenglishcoach.com and you can sign up for one-on-one times there. I have 1 hour sessions open and I have 30-minute sessions as well. Okay, everybody, so there you go. Practice those phrases if you want to get ready for your next English job interview.